Chapter 45. Day 10. Adelmo rose from his slumber, feeling a sense of disorientation as he glanced out of the window. The early morning light filtered through the glass, casting a soft glow on the unfamiliar room he found himself in. It was evident that he had awoken in a place he had never been before, yet there was an eerie familiarity that lingered in the air. Dracula's castle, he thought to himself, a shiver running down his spine. Driven by curiosity, Adelmo made his way towards the door, hoping to explore his surroundings and uncover the reason behind his unexpected presence. As he reached for the doorknob, a sinking feeling washed over him when he realized it was locked. Panic began to set in, his mind racing with thoughts of being trapped in this mysterious place. Desperate for a solution, Adelmo frantically searched through his pockets, hoping to find something that could aid his escape. To his surprise, his pockets were filled with an assortment of objects, each one more peculiar than the last. He emptied the contents onto the floor, meticulously sorting through the items in a desperate attempt to find a key or any tool that could unlock the door. Among the jumble of objects, one caught his eye, a key that resembled a skeleton key. A surge of hope coursed through Adelmo's veins as he recognized the significance of the key. He had heard tales of these magical keys that could unlock any door, and now he held one in his hands. Confusion mingled with excitement as he pondered how he had come to possess such a powerful artifact. Without hesitation, he approached the door and inserted the key into the lock. As he turned it, a subtle transformation occurred. The tip of the key shifted, adapting to fit the lock perfectly. With a click, the door swung open, revealing a corridor that stretched into the unknown. Adelmo couldn't help but marvel at the key's mysterious abilities, his gaze lingering on its altered appearance. He appeared even more bewildered than he had been previously. The key in his possession was no ordinary key. It had the power to unlock any door it was inserted into. With a sense of caution, he carefully stashed the key away in his pocket, knowing its significance. As he turned the key in the lock and pushed open the door, he found himself in unfamiliar surroundings. The halls of the castle stretched out before him, a labyrinth of mystery waiting to be unraveled. Lost in the maze of corridors, he struggled to pinpoint his exact location within the castle. This part of the castle seemed untouched by human presence, as if it had been forgotten by time itself. The eerie silence only added to his growing sense of unease. As he hurried through the halls, a nagging thought lingered in his mind. Why was he in this secluded room, and why had it been locked? The possibility of being either protected or imprisoned loomed over him, casting a shadow of doubt on his every move. Spotting the grappling hook gun on the ground where he had last lost consciousness, he felt a surge of relief. With a firm grip on the tool, he retraced his steps and made his way back to the entrance of the castle. The keys safely tucked away, he emerged from the castle, the same way he had entered. The mysteries of the locked room and the unanswered questions still lingered in his mind, but for now, his priority was to escape before the castle came alive with the arrival of curious tourists. As he stepped through the front door of his grandfather's house, a sense of familiarity washed over Adelmo. The scent of old books and the creaking of the wooden floorboards greeted him, instantly transporting him back to his childhood. He made his way into the cozy living room, where his grandfather sat in his favorite armchair, engrossed in the morning paper. The soft rays of sunlight filtered through the curtains, casting a warm glow on the room. Catching sight of Adelmo, his grandfather looked up from his reading, a twinkle of recognition in his eyes. Concern etched on his face, he inquired if everything was all right. Adelmo hesitated for a moment, contemplating how to articulate the strange events of the previous day. Finally, he replied, his voice tinged with a mix of curiosity and uncertainty. "Well, grandfather, I had the most peculiar day yesterday." Intrigued by his grandson's cryptic statement, his grandfather leaned forward, his eyes filled with anticipation. Adelmo took a deep breath before posing a question that had been weighing on his mind. "Grandfather, do you think anyone in our family has ever possessed the extraordinary ability to witness events that have already unfolded in the past?" His grandfather furrowed his brow, deep in thought. After a brief pause, he responded, Not that I can recall. However, just as the words left his lips, a flicker of remembrance crossed his face. "Wait a minute," he exclaimed, his voice filled with a newfound certainty. "I do believe there was someone in our lineage who possessed such a rare gift. But why do you ask, Adelmo?" Adelmo's mind was racing with questions and excitement as he processed his grandfather's words. The idea that he possessed a rare gift, one that could potentially help him foresee events before they even occurred, was both thrilling and daunting. He couldn't help but wonder about the implications of this newfound ability and how it would shape his future. The thought of being part of a group of individuals with similar gifts, the clairvoyants, filled him with a sense of belonging and purpose. As Adelmo mulled over his grandfather's words, he couldn't shake off the feeling of unease that crept over him. The realization that he had the power to see things that others couldn't was overwhelming. The weight of responsibility that came with this gift was starting to sink in, and he knew that he had to tread carefully. The thought of being able to predict the movements of the abominations, whatever they may be, was both intriguing and terrifying. With a determined look in his eyes, Adelmo turned to his grandfather and asked, "How can I harness this gift to predict their moves?" His grandfather smiled knowingly and replied, "Trust in your instincts, Adelmo. Your visions will guide you, and with time and practice, you will learn to interpret them accurately. Embrace your abilities, for they will be your greatest weapon against the unknown." Adelmo nodded, feeling a sense of purpose and determination wash over him. He was ready to embrace his gift and face whatever challenges lay ahead.